I was going to say a few words first.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you could.
Sure. Sure. This is 5:30. This is this safety meeting for the first of 2026. And I'd like to introduce President of Common Council Margaret Morris to have some words.
Yeah, so, since this is our first meeting of this committee and also the first meeting of any of our committees, just wanted to lay out a few things. So for the last, the department were doing their reports to the informal meeting. That will no longer happen.
Thank you.
Reports will be to the relevant committees, in this case, it's safety, so it's police and fire. We'll work out a schedule that I'll send to everybody, but right now, since we didn't have an informal outcome, we all submitted your reports at the usual time to the full council. I think maybe it might be best going forward to submit them to the relevant committee. We can talk about that. But the reports that will be reviewed this evening are the ones that you've already submitted, that we would have looked at in informal. Then if there are any issues or discussion, there may be things outside of the standard reports that come up. This committee, the chair of this committee, whoever that is, will then bring those issues forward.
Hear you.
We'll now let some declaration. Excuse me?
I think Linda couldn't hear us. Can you start?
The mic's up here.
Oh, sorry. So unless there's some particular issue, that needs to be addressed, you will not need to go to the informal. Formal, vote on motions, discussion, local law. I've also left here a copy of the rules of order that we passed, at our organizational meeting. And, I have a copy here for the public if anyone wants to see them. Basically, the same rules apply for the committees as apply for the, full council meeting with regard to public comment, behavior, demeanor, and so forth. So I just brought those this evening, and I will leave a copy posted here for all of the committees so that the public can know, but they also do get posted on the website under rules of order. So any questions? Okay, of the people who signed up so far, this has not been finalized yet, but right now I have Padat, Sarah, Morante, and Cousin. I'm not anticipating anyone else, but if someone else decides they wish to join within the next couple of weeks, that will be okay. I am not assigning people to committees, and I am not determining who the chair is. Each committee will select its own chair. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For our meetings, our first Monday of the month at 5:30 PM. Next, I think we probably should nominate the chair and I think co-chair, because there's only 4 of us here, so we probably should have a co-chair, just in case. What do you think? I think we should. all-
Run a meeting and, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. So any thoughts? I mean, the one you have any thoughts?
I think you are interested in the beginning, I saw like, so I think.
I am interested.
Would you be interested?
But you,
in being
you have an
co-chair?
experience before, I think, right? You ran
Yes.
a committee before. Okay, I did too.
So that's what I'm saying. Would you be interested to be co-chair then? And have Henry as chair and you co-chair, because you did
Yeah.
run. you
Yeah,
run-
I decided that before the pandemic, so yeah.
Okay. Does that work with everyone? Is that everybody comfortable with that?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
So I hand it off to you, Mr. Haddad.
Thank you. How excited. And thank you for a co-chair. So since we had a chair prior to the meeting being scheduled, there was no agenda scheduled. So if there had been any new business, rather any new old business, it hasn't carried over. But I believe we could just assume that there is a little new business. And hopefully there are maybe any reports from, let's say, parking or any updates from any HPD statistic or anything that's your concern. I would say is new business for today, and same for the fire department. of course, sorry, fire first.
Yeah, usually we do fire first because
but,
fire is
yeah,
quick and easy, so.
Yeah, sorry, so, yeah, the scheduling of the meeting will be presenting fire first and then, police, so. Put the agenda aside, we'll just forego for today. So if there's anything you would like to present from fire, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
And next month we'll have a proper agenda.
Yeah, that's fine. She said normally we're in and out of here.
Yeah.
Don't ask for too much, but, since there wasn't one last month, we didn't get a chance to go over the year 2025, what we told for calls. We had 413 total calls for 2025. Out of those 413, 33 of them were fires. Out of those 33 fires, 11 of those were building, strictly building fires. Everything else was, you know, like dumpster, cooking, whatever, you know, car, stuff like that. We had, 13 motor vehicle accidents with injuries. 8 motor vehicle versus pedestrian, 7 vehicle accidents without injuries. 31 hazardous conditions, that's anywhere from, you know, gas, steel bomb, stuff like that. But out of that 413, 256 of those were false alarms. Purely false
Wow.
alarms, you know,
So 50%.
yeah, around there, yeah.
52% to be exact.
Gosh, that's actually significantly
It's
more.
actually, you know, something, everybody has an alarm system now and they get set off very easily, so. Unfortunately, that's the game we're in now.
But that's, isn't that kind of where all the money is every time you guys roll out the door?
Well, that just started.
So, and,
That was something that literally just started this year, actually.
and I'm telling you, the problem is, though, a lot of the old reporting system, so we just, the country just switched from nippers to nearest, so the reporting is now different.
Also goes to like fire instead of,
Well, it's all, no, it's all fire, but just in general, so the way we report things, and as for, the problem is we consider a false alarm, somebody vaping in the bathroom. Well, the smoke detector did its job, but we can't charge for that under a false alarm because it did what it's supposed to do.
It activated for a reason.
It activated for a reason, so there's very, it's very minimal stuff that, again, you know, we go to the Riverside Lodge, I think last year was 15 times. It seems like 15 times a month, but 14 out of those 15, and I'm using round numbers, I don't know the exact, but are because somebody's vaping in the downstairs bathroom and setting off the smoke alarm. That's not a false alarm when it comes to fire
Right,
stuff.
of course.
But
Are they allowed to?
nobody classified it.
But the way the city's, his policy's written out, you know, the only false alarm is, as far as if the detector was bad malfunctioning, you know what I mean?
Right.
The county is written differently. The county steam, vaping, that would all fall under a false alarm. They have, theirs is written up differently. I have to get some literature on it. I know when the county did theirs, because the county does. The rest of the fire departments are under the county, so when that's how they all do their alarm system stuff.
Are they allowed to vape inside the hotel?
No,
No, so you go in the bathroom and do it.
but the problem is the detector's doing its job. you know?
No, yeah, I mean, my fear is that somebody deactivates the detector, right, because they're vaping.
They can, I mean.
No, I'm saying that's good that it's doing its job.
Exactly.
We've actually spoken to them and talked about getting, it comes down to codes too. You know, you got smoke detectors and you got heat detectors. We had a lot, I know we ran into the problem down at Savona's. When they first opened, every time they cook,
Yeah.
set off the alarm. So we were able to get it switched to a heat detector.
And you got the steam ones that set up the steam.
Changed the whole game, you know?
The steam sets off smoke detectors too sometimes, right in the bathroom.
Dominic, isn't that we added something like at the false alarm something?
Yeah, that they're charged if the system goes off, right? In terms of their security system. That's right, if the security system goes off, right?
It's fine, it's written for fire too, but it's the way the code is written, it's pretty specific and once again, being in the bathroom, the alarm system is doing its job. So the way our code is written, like Sean just said, the county one specifies that stuff is a false alarm,
Right.
ours does not.
And cooking could lead to something more, right? Just because it happens to be cooking, it could lead to something more, right? Yeah.
Cookie's legit, though. It's not false. Actually, we got people that's fire now, to be honest with you.
Mm.
Any type of cooking that's that they wanna know, so. But, with that, the start of the new year already, we're already starting off to a busy start, we got 39 calls. For the month of January, 3 of those were fire, 1 was a dumpster, 1 was a cooking, 1 was a vehicle. 7 of those were hazardous, carbon monoxide, nasty. We had 1 more vehicle violation or collision. And, 15 public service, those were smoke alarms and CO bombs. Yeah, right, again, about half, a little under half this month. Nonsense.
Busy month with the weather.
Yes, yeah,
Good.
Do you have any calls with the snow, any of these like dryers being blocked or anything?
no, yeah, actually, we didn't have anything for a snowstorm. Well, not during the snowstorm.
Yeah.
I know, when was that water break? Was that before or after?
On Glenwood?
No, we didn't have,
I know we didn't have anything during the storm.
we had the vehicle fire down ionized during the storm. That was Monday morning.
Again, non-storm related stuff.
How many Explorers do you have right now?
Right now, no.
Non-Explorers?
None.
We just redid the policy for those of you that don't know, there's no more Explorer program, it's now junior firefighters. You're 14 and 15 are juniors, and 16 and 17-year-old with another qualification. They're actually, the Explorers are actually, would be 14, 15, juniors would be 16 and 17.
Right.
18 and up to be active, but it's all under the Hudson Fire Department.
So it's not through the Boy Scouts?
It's not for the Boy Scouts, no more. We have a policy through the city.
Right.
Everything is done through the city Hudson Fire, but they're, at the end of the day, they're a member of the fire department. They join at 14. But they have,
How many
14, 15s have to get a liability form signed by the parents, and they have to be under insurance with their parents.
Mhm.
And then 16, I believe we pick them up. At 16, we pick them up.
And how many juniors do you currently
Juniors? None.
have?
I have a question. I had reached out and I know my scheduling hasn't allowed for us to meet
Yeah,
yet.
we got a bunch of that. It's all right.
But one of the reasons that I picked safety committee is because I'm curious about supporting the fire department in recruitment. And I think one of the bigger recruitment efforts that I remember is when junior firefighters was partnered with the after school program. I was curious if you feel like participation with the school district would help the pipeline of recruitment.
We had, so the only issue with that back when we were doing it was the wrong age bracket.
Mm,
They were too young. You know what I mean? We need to reach those, they're working with those, 9, 10-year-old. We were down in middle school at the time. It just, yeah, it was great. We had a lot of kids and everything, but it was the wrong age bracket. They weren't gonna be to get the opportunity for another 2, 3, 4 years or whatever, I don't know what they're doing. We have talked about getting involved with the school in the past. I don't know what they do for after-school programs up there. As you know, recruitment's not just a problem here, it's all around. Doesn't just start with the kids, I mean,
Yeah.
even, lack of jobs and,
Yeah.
affordable housing and stuff, that's hurt us in the long run over the years here, unfortunately, but, kids get out of school, they move on. Yeah, no, I mean, that was the only part, like, it was a great program, but like I said, it was just the wrong age bracket, we need that 14 we need that teenager bracket.
You need the feeders.
Yeah,
I have
we
a
need-
pretty good pulse on some teens, so I would
Yeah.
like to support in
Yeah,
making some of those
absolutely.
connections.
Like I said, our drill nights are Tuesday nights. If there's any interest, the kids can come up. There's somebody there Tuesday night, they can come right in. They're gonna get let right in. Tuesday night, 6 o'clock, somebody's always there. That's the best time to catch everybody and actually see what's going on, so.
Maybe, maybe we'll also bring this up at the services and tap in with Calvin to see if Calvin can do something to bring in.
We've
That
been
age
down
group.
there. We've done some things down there in the past too.
Okay,
I've gone down there.
yeah. It's a shame, you're right, it's all over the place. I mean,
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's not just Hudson.
Yeah.
It's countywide, it's statewide, it's everybody, you know what I mean?
I do think it'd be important for maybe not this month, but if next month, there's some type of synopsis that you can give to us to present to the full council about like the lack of recruitment or, retention and how that's impacted. I know we have like the shared services or like other counties will come or other cities will come in and support when there's a big fire or you're deployed other places. So we would love to share some of that information back. To just put in full picture of what's happening right now.
Sure.
Do you think also that because it's been kind of a, family thing, growing up, that fathers, sons and everything, you think there's a gap between that heritage and like legacy?
I don't think there's a gap because it was always, even if those of us that came up through, which is one of them, Nick's come up through. But it wasn't just family, it was, friends of the family too, you know what I mean? It was for, that's where the school came into play.
Right.
You were in school, you got your friends involved, that's kind of, our junior program is what has brought us to where we are today,
Right.
It's always, the junior free program is what kept us alive.
Right.
It always has, and it was always the kids coming up through that. It was never more of getting people off the street, it was always the kids, our
Company interest.
program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So maybe another conversation with the superintendent wouldn't hurt in the future. Well, thank you very much.
No problem.
If there's anything else you have to report?
I think the only thing we do have is just
Yes.
based on the new stuff with resolutions.
Yep.
We're just gonna have a transfer of funds from 2025, to cover a bill for radio.
Okay.
And I'll forward
Now, is
that.
that coming through here now, or we will?
We just have to get it, I believe, so.
Yes,
Okay,
President.
so, with regard to resolutions, the informal meeting, the formal is the fourth Tuesday, and the informal is the Monday 8 days prior. That way you take care of problems for X money or, right? All resolutions will need to go to the informal. And then if there's any discussions that where will occur, and then they will be voted on in the formal. I'd like to avoid having emergency meetings or special meetings and so forth. So the timescale for January does bringing that to the informal towards the end of this month. Does that work for you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the informal is on a Monday.
17,
Yes, it's on a Monday. Well, it's always on a Monday.
Yeah.
It's not always on a Saturday.
right, yeah.
The informal is on a Monday, so the deadline for getting things to the informal is going to be close of business the Thursday before, every month. And that way the clerks will not have to scramble. Everything will be posted for the public and also for the council. So that's what I'm going to try to put in place so that we kind of proceed in an orderly fashion.
For clarification, do you want the resolutions to come to the committees
No,
first, then?
no,
Yes, or just like this?
Something like this, no, it does not need to.
Okay.
So something where this committee is working on something and they have come up with something that they want to have a resolution that they want to bring to the council, then somebody from this committee, presumably the chair, would say, I want to bring this to the council for review and discussion. So for example, when we did the oral law, when we did the update to the false alarms, that would have grown out of this committee. And a member of the council from this committee would sponsor that so that they could then speak intelligently about it to the committee, to the council and say, this is what this is is why we're doing it, and then everybody understands.
So money transfers between.
That's straightforward, yeah, it's easy.
Yeah, perfect. They were good.
That's my mission.
Any other questions?
No, clarification.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, we probably should do public comment for fire, right? Because then we don't have to wait.
And
till
then
the
we can release fire to whatever that noise was outside.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Chief. Any public comment or any council members have any comments for fire? Okay. Sir,
Before I ask my question or questions, what is what's the policy for public? Is this public question time or is it public comment time? Is there a certain amount of time or is there a certain amount?
we are gonna try to limit it to 2 minutes per person.
Is that comment or question? So in other words, if I ask a question,
Question.
it's answered for 2 minutes, I'm done. Is that right?
I guess it depends if the question can be answered.
No.
Really, it's up to the chair conducting the meeting,
Which is you.
which is me. the rules we have for the for the informal meeting are 2 minutes
2 minutes of,
of
Comments
you,
or
your
questions?
commentary and question.
Okay,
But I'll give you,
do you
I'll give you.
understand that question,
Yes.
right? A question could,
Well, yeah,
it could take me 5 seconds to ask a question and 3 minutes for it to be answered.
so we're gonna go as quickly as possible.
Well,
And afterwards, if there are more, you and I can talk. And being this is the first meeting, and we had no agenda plan because these meetings haven't been held for so long. We're gonna start the ground a little fresh, wrong phrase there. We're gonna try very hard to be ready to go with a good agenda full of all the items that we're gonna hear tonight and between now and then. So yes, we'll give you as much time. Margaret, please, speak to that.
Yes, so, we adopted rules of order at our, organizational meeting. These rules apply to the informal, the formal, where appropriate to the committee meetings. Rule number 8, at the discretion of the chair, the floor may be open to comment from non-members of the council on a question, i.e. an item, before the council or new business at the new business portion of the meeting. Non-members may make one comment of no more than 2 minutes on any given question, and the chair may set a reasonable time limit for such public comments. That's in general. They may decide 10 minutes total. As with council members, non-members must first be recognized by the chair. Any non-member seeking to speak must do so in an orderly fashion and shall not engage in conduct which disrupts, disturbs, or otherwise impedes the orderly conduct of the meeting. If any person continues to engage in disorderly conduct after being warned by the chair to cease such behavior, the chair may order removal of said person from the meeting. That is rule number 8. These rules are posted on the website. You brought up an issue about questions. In general, it is not advised in public meetings. You can make comments, but if you have a question, it is preferable, unless it's a very straightforward question. I don't understand how is the false alarm defined? That's a simple question to answer from materials that are available to us. Engaging in a debate or hypothetical question or questions of policy, that is something where we should say, thank you, we will look into that, we will get back to you. This is not a forum for long engaged question answer debate. That's not the purpose of public comment. And everything is at the discretion of the chairs of whatever committee meeting or council meeting is in process. And the rules are posted.
Okay.
I brought a copy for the public here, and there's a here for members of this committee.
Thank you very much.
Still have one more question about this and then I'll.
Yeah, sure.
So, up till now, any member of the public could ask the question of the department heads and maybe get an answer, maybe not, or maybe get a sufficient answer, maybe not. Am I allowed to ask a question of department heads or only of the committee? Or is any member of the public? So does it matter?
I don't think it really matters.
Okay.
Unless it derails from the meeting and the subject at hand.
So I
Ask
can.
a question.
Okay.
Ask a question.
Um,
This is a safe space.
and
A new year.
who's got the stopwatch? Because that's kind of important. I mean, 2 minutes,
Bill, you've got the floor right now.
okay. Then you have the discretion of letting me talk for 15 minutes, right?
I have the discretion, but right now it's 6 minutes to 6 and I'd like to start police soon. So
Yeah.
I've got the stopwatch going.
As many of you, or all of you know, I'm kind of obsessed with safety. It's a big concern of mine, especially around Hudson. And I'm glad to see that it's a safety committee, whether it'll actually have any effect on improving what's being ignored in the city, we'll see. What I would like to see, I think, and would be helpful for the committee, members of the public, police, fire, maybe on the website, on your webpage for your committee, is what safety issues are you focusing on? Because safety can mean a bunch of things, right? And it can cross into other departments, DPW, crosswalks, code enforcement, So there's all sorts of things, but I don't want to come here with questions that aren't going to get answered. I don't think anybody should.
Sure, I don't wanna stop you, but I will ask, is this gonna be directed at fire at all? Because if it isn't, I'm gonna,
There is something coming up, yes.
would you maybe do that one first? Just
Okay.
kind of, because I know there was a call as, just in case. Thank you.
That's all I'll say about that. That's what I'd like to see. What I'd also like to see the committee take care of, and this is what I'd like to hear the fire chief, know about. Abandoned houses. We have too many abandoned houses in this town. And I understand this is, you say it's a code enforcement thing. Well, I would think the fire department would care about getting these abandoned houses fixed up and for code enforcement to force the owners to fix them up because they have fire hazards for that house, for adjacent houses. That's what I'll say about that. Secondly, as well as too many abandoned houses, there are too many out-of-service fire hydrants in this town. I'm sorry, the answer that I got from Rob Perry and from the fire department in the last few years is totally, should be totally unacceptable. Basically, it was, it's not a problem. There are plenty of fire hydrants. We can always use the next one that's available. There's a fire hydrant in the middle of the 200 block of State Street that has been out of service for at least 2 years. Now, I don't know if the fire hydrant in front of my house is out of service, doesn't have an out of service tag on it. But boy, if it were, I'd make us think about it about every other day to fire department, to DPW. So that's what I'd like to see.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you. Appreciate it. We'll hopefully be able to address some of those short. It's a short list, an update. A website message is great. It might be better labeled as safety and quality of life. Because really, that's kind of what police in the city of Hudson is. We're dealing with a lot of quality of life
Sure.
issues, and we're very lucky for that. You know, those are our problems now. It's not the problems of 15, 25 years.
Lots of quality of life issues too.
100%.
We're not gonna break
Thank
it
you.
here, so.
So for this part of the meeting, I wanted to release fire if they'd like to go.
The fire done, yeah, fine. I
Um,
just wanted to try to make it out.
Thank you. Yeah, chief, if you have anything else, yeah. then we're
Just a
good.
comment on that quick though, is the,
Yeah.
as far as the hydrants and the
Yes,
big
please.
house, as much as we'd like to have something done, we don't have the power for that.
Right.
It's not, that falls out of us. It's not that we don't care. It
Right.
falls out of our power, but we are aware when there's a house vacant or one's displaced or whatever. Same with the hydrants, we are aware when there's hydrants that, we have plans for that. We have plans A, B, C, and D. I can promise you, if we pull up, it's nothing different than pulling up to a hydrant, and it doesn't work when we get there, and even though it's in service, you know what I mean? We plan for that. We train for that, we plan for those issues, so. And there's no such thing as a vacant house in our day, you know,
Yeah.
you can only want, we pull up to a fire, it's vacant when we say it's vacant, you know what I mean? We don't write anybody off at the end of the day, so that's just,
Thank
we play it.
If I make it really quickly, briefly, I know you're interested in vacant housing, and I know you're interested in that there was a law passed that's not really enforced.
Well,
Is it difficult?
it hasn't been enforced, but it's,
I'm just saying.
it's a new year, it's a new administration. We can't, well,
I'm
let's see
really
what's gonna happen.
I'm
Let's
really
give us a
impressed with
little.
the format. I've learned some things about the junior firefighters that I haven't seen. I might come to meetings and I really haven't seen that, so that's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, fire.
That's good,
Yes, thank you, chief.
all right, we'll see you guys later then.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. You
Have a good evening.
guys have a good night.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for your work.
So that concludes I guess we should break up these segments of the meetings. That includes the fire portion of the committee meeting, and we'll open the floor to the HPD department. Chief Franklin, if you have anything you'd like to tell us this evening?
Well, I'm gonna go over just the reports for December.
Sure.
First off, the body worn camera reports that was sent. There were no training needs necessary from that. For the use of force, we had two reports. It was one incident. It was actually an incident that stemmed from Winter Walk. Subject had a knife in one of the stores. I think some of you are familiar with that. Ended up finding the subject down at the high rise. He wouldn't drop the knife, came to the door. When the officers went down there, they subsequently ended up tasing him, and then he was brought to the hospital for a mental health evaluation because he was going through some things. Unfortunately, he was not hurt, so that's the positive, and no one else was hurt. We had 16 arrests for the month. 10 emotionally disturbed person calls, and 0 drug overdoses or suspected drug overdoses. Forgive us for the reports, they probably will look different moving forward because we moved to a new RMS system. So we're working through some glitches to try to make the reports more informative like they used to be. But moving to the new system, we kind of had to troubleshoot that a little bit.
Sure.
So they should be better moving forward with all of that information. We had our award ceremony in December, which was good, on the 11th, and a lot of folks were recognized in our department and some members of the public for their service to the city and our community and residents. And that's really it. I was gonna let Captain Miller speak about parking. I know we probably have a lot of questions about parking and what's going on with that, so.
Thanks, chief.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And for the future,
I think you're coming right up.
Next time.
I'm more familiar with, the chief sitting up here with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we used to do.
Okay, would you
We'll
mind?
have to mix it up and just like
Yeah.
talk it out.
Yeah, you guys would be on the one side. and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll change some things for
Okay.
next month, okay? Thanks.
Well, congratulations and welcome.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm just gonna give you the breakdown for parking. Just because some of you guys weren't here last year.
Thank you.
Real quick here. HPD took over the parking bureau about a little over 6 months ago, so it hasn't been that long. We took over parking because we felt it needed to be, better managed. And, so that's what we're doing. I'm gonna give you some of these stats and then I want to give you the full, we had Q3 and Q4 of last year. So that would be from, July 1st to December 31st, and I'm gonna give you just some numbers so you understand. Since we taken over parking, and not to brag, our department has been doing very well. And I'm gonna show that, I know that numbers don't just speak, but I just wanna put this in perspective because some people feel that this change is not beneficial, and I assure you it's running great. So for December parking, we issued 1,322 tickets. Paid tickets in December was 1,883. We had 13 booths. So our revenue for December of 2025 was $101,413.47. What it was for last December of 24, before we managed it, it was $83,630. So since we took over quarters 3 and 4, our totals for quarters 3 and 4 for 2024 was $555,394. When we took over for quarter 3 and 4, again, it's just been a little over 6 months. $649,256.41, which is up 17% and a total of $93,862.41. Now, I understand that's just numbers, but it's just, we've been managing it very well to make sure everything's flowing.
Thank you.
Now, when you said the money though, that 600,000, is that what's issued but not collected, or is that collected?
This is revenue collected
Great,
between quarter 3 and 4.
wonderful.
And just quickly, I'm gonna give just for January, we had all our changes implemented then, because everything I just gave you, the old system, the new system, just so you know. January, we still issued 1,603 tickets. Paid was 1,825 for a total revenue of $63,490 in parking tickets. And for January of 25, before we had it, it was $102,002.66. And for January of this year, revenue was $114,885.17. So again, I understand that's money, but I just did,
No,
we're managing this very well.
Yeah, please.
Too. As of today, we did go through all of the backlog appeals, and there are decisions made on all of those going back to November of 24. Folks haven't all received a decision yet, but we have worked through those so that we are up to date.
Excellent. Would this every quarter or whenever you have data like this, could we have that?
Yeah, we normally give you guys copies,
Yeah, no,
but
that'd be great.
because everything's new,
Yeah.
but yeah, you would normally have that. Not only that, the public has this too. It's on, we post it out. post it on the city site.
Coincidentally, at the conference we were at this afternoon, T2 Systems was there and they pulled us aside and they said, hey, we don't know who to talk to because we have some outstanding tickets from, it was like a year in the past or prior, and they said, we don't know who to talk to.
We talk to
To
T2
get these collected.
too much daily.
Yeah, that's,
So I don't know, every day we're talking to T2.
I took his card, so I'll give it to you.
Was his name John?
I don't know.
Was he an older gentleman?
Oh, he was, yes. Older gentleman with glasses.
Hmm.
And yeah, we told him contact the parking clerk, so. Anyhow,
Okay,
But anyways, I think you give us another 6 months, which will be a total of a year, you'll find that everything will be pretty smooth. With the major changes with the systems and all. But
They think the license and the abilities for you guys to boot now is also assisting us because it's quicker for it done rather than waiting for tow and all that.
Right, so Planet Hero just, was that a grant? Is that we got that, or the LPR system for this? So we just got them in place, actually.
are you talking about the boots? I think, are you referring to the boots that we do?
Yeah,
Not overnight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that does help.
yeah, I agree.
We have the LPRs and then we also, HPD officers will boot overnight, so we're not waiting for a tow company. Or if a tow company doesn't respond because it's in the middle of the night, we're able to do that.
great.
But then, yeah, as Captain Miller was saying, we did have a grant, so we have in-car cameras coming that will be installed, and I know that there's, they might be passing legislation or whatever to make that required of all police departments now. So we're trying to stay ahead of that as well.
Thank you.
So how many kiosks we have now? Like,
So there are 6,
but we still have 10, right?
we still have 10, 4 of which need to be converted. I got an email today that a tech will be out this Thursday to do a walkthrough with us for the location of the additional 10 kiosks. I have a quote for the conversion and installation of the 4 that need to be converted to solar. And then they're gonna give us a quote sometime after the walkthrough of where to locate the additional 6. So,
And I just wanted to mention, because I forgot, the total cash payments we had for January was $50 for the whole city, so it's something to keep in mind, it's obsolete.
Hmm.
We can't keep up $50
Yeah.
cash.
Yeah, and when it's all said and done, was it gonna be 18 a year or something?
what's that?
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay, roughly.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
doing the quick math. I know once it's all laid out and deployed and hopefully tweaked and fine tuned, it is gonna save us on the manpower alone.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, to collect quarters.
Yeah, it
and
costs
all that was-
40 grand a year.
It was
to
crazy.
quarters.
Yes.
When you say.
And those days,
quarters,
Yeah. For January, our cash was $50 for the city.
Yeah.
For the whole month.
That might increase with more kiosks, but yeah, okay, right? Once you get more kiosks, that it might increase a little bit, right?
Sure.
I mean,
I think the reality is the majority of people are using the contactless payments and Park Mobile, who already have the app from being down at Amtrak. People find that more convenient, and so, that's what they use.
we're supposed to put up more sign, so.
Yeah, we have more signs coming. It's just a matter of, working with DPW to put them up because they've been
The storm.
slammed with the snow emergency and snow removal.
People been asking, how do I pay? I don't know what to do. I have to pay and stuff like that. Saying, yeah, you gotta pay, but
Yeah, we have
There's no
the
meter, I
signs,
think so.
DPW has signs, we actually just got more today as well. It's just a matter of them being able to put them on.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't realize, like, each week, you'd have 2 people going out collecting quarters all day.
Right.
So they couldn't enforce tickets and collect quarters. So you were losing out on revenue.
Well, I think once people realize that the parking is movable for your vehicle because it's on your license plate. So you're not locked down in one spot, right?
Right.
For those 2 hours, you can move from spot to spot. It goes with you, right? Right, so I mean, that's a benefit for people, right? Because they can park and do something in front of CVS and then say, I want to go down street and not worry about paying again, as long as they're within those, minutes. Yeah,
Right.
Maybe that's something that can be presented at the council, just like general information that people are missing.
Yeah.
Some of the benefits of.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, if there's some questions that you're hearing from the public that maybe
Yeah.
we don't hear, like we can formulate some kind of Q&A for the council to
Right.
help.
It would make sense just to, let's just go ahead and do that for next month, please.
Okay.
We'll spend a little bit of time and we'll put it on the website and say, if you have any questions.
Yeah, well,
And we have,
parking,
not-
yeah.
we've done this in
Yeah.
years, we've really.
Yeah,
put
somebody's
guys
done it, but
Yeah,
there
yeah.
are still people like wondering, like, they have to pay or not because they don't see no meter. So they're like, I mean, what's that, it's free or something? I don't know. It's not free, you gotta pay.
For handicappers.
Yeah, all handicap is free. If you have a.
Except for long-term lot, you still have to, if you're
Yeah,
using a long-term
long-term
event, yeah, track, you have to pay.
Enforcement, that is a feedback from enforcement, is that they've been noticing more handicap, tags being hung.
Yeah.
Obviously not in handicap spaces because now it's free no matter where, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, an issue that some people treat ethics differently.
so I mean, the benefit there is that it allows universal parking for people with disabilities, so they're not looking for that one spot, right? So it allows them to park somewhere closer to where they're going without having to park in a special spot and then walking half block. And again, it also allows it movable, right? So someone who might need a wheelchair can park in the blue, but someone who might just need it for another reason doesn't necessarily have to park in the blue, right? So it allows a little flexibility of universal parking.
Great. Well, thank you. Is there anything else, Chief?
No, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Miller. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Any questions from the committee? Probably not, because we're firing away. Any questions from the audience, please?
I was interested.
Address yourself.
Sorry?
Name?
Your name, please.
I was interested to hear, I actually haven't,
They want your name.
oh, Diana, I live in Hudson.
Thanks.
I was interested to hear the bits and pieces of that thing about how you sign up for it, or, you like click into it, but then you can like move around town and it kind of like goes with you, because I myself have not used the system, I've just been like basically avoiding.
Parking on the side streets.
What's that?
Parking on the side streets. That's what I've been
like,
doing.
Yeah.
I haven't paid for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I had this like mental model that had a lot of question marks in it.
Sure.
And I do have a question about where the data is going. So as you guys are kind of collecting together and are going to present more of a model to the public, which you guys were just talking about, if you could explain like where this data, like, is it, like, what is the company and what database is it going into? And where does that, like, where can we assume that data about the fact that somebody is parked for 2 hours in Hudson is actually being recorded? You know what I mean? Because there's a whole question of like sanctuary city issues and like non-cooperation with like different authorities and stuff like that. And I just want to understand how this like, a system that was putting pieces of metal into a meter and you're sitting right there and there's like no data being collected is now going
There
to.
is still data being
collection.
collected. I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, but that data's been being collected on anyone violating a ticket for years because we're getting scanned by that little box and it prints out the ticket. Takes a picture of our registration and our license plate. So it does, because they give you a ticket. So they're scanning your card to put that ticket with your license plate. So
For it, but if you.
Yeah, correct.
And you're not being scanned.
that's a very good point, yeah.
More
Good.
than-
So the moment when you get a ticket, it goes into a database that we house that has the cloud essentially. And through the third-party company that we have a contract with.
Yeah,
And they automatically run information through DMV based on your license plate.
Okay, but even to purchase, like, you know, whatever small segment of time, you're using your license plate.
Right, but we don't, none of that additional data is collected unless you got a ticket. If you were given a ticket, then that's when there would be a lookup through DMV.
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Mm.
Because there were recent, like, nationwide reports around just like, when you get the app, you have to put your license plate number in.
Yeah,
Whether you got a ticket or not, now they have your license plate number stored.
yeah.
The question is something like Axiom having access to that regular day-to-day data based on the contract because of the concern around us being a sanctuary city?
Yeah.
If folks are parking on the street, they wanna know that they're protected. I think that's more of the question.
That's the question, yeah, is that there's kind of an extra overlay beyond the way that ticketing was handled if you were in violation with a coin. Because like now you've got like, anytime you're paying for parking,
Well, that-
there's like a data collection.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Chief.
That,
you
I
have
would
any
have to
direct
look
answer?
further into that, but I believe there are protective rights built into contracts with.
There usually
with
are, yeah,
Axon,
destruction of
things like
data
that.
after a certain amount of months. I remember in the past.
Right, so.
We can reach out.
We'd have to look into that.
With ST too, they seem, they love our money. They'll answer the question.
They do, yes.
Yeah, and I would suggest if anybody feels that way strongly, just, there is plenty of free parking here, honestly, it's not just. Paid parking is not the only option here in the city.
Yeah.
If they feel, I'm just saying, if they feel a certain way, there's plenty of other parking.
I mean, I can tell you from our perspective and the city's perspective, the reason we went electronic for data purposes is for revenue, for tickets, that sort of thing, not the broader picture of what everybody's concerned about right now, but I understand that is a real concern for everyone.
Yeah, I can hear, I'm not gonna dominate, I'm just like one sentence, I can hear that like, I don't know all the details, but obviously the revenue has improved and that was like, you know, people in the room are happy about that, you know what I mean, I understand that. But there's just a tension. Because like none of us really like controls all of these systems and we're having to like employ these systems that we don't always know exactly how they work or what the implications are, so. That's
Of
all.
course.
I can say in the city, we haven't had anything like that at this point. Like usage of Logan plates or anything like that, or ice or anything like that, I can tell you that for sure.
Thank you. Any other questions? Bill? I only gave you 3 minutes last time, Bill.
Well, keep it up there. I just, have a question for the police representatives here. Does HPD ever issue overnight alternate side parking tickets when the DPW street sweeper or snowplows are not out on the streets in the morning?
Yeah,
Of course. But it's not one or the other, so that's, I don't know whether it's,
Isn't that the reason for the rule?
no,
What's the reason for the rule?
it's safety, it's all the concerns, all the cars being parked, uniform, safety concerns, where abandoned cars should be left, there's so many different reasons.
Okay.
Maybe not the reason for.
Excuse me, why is it done away with in the summertime? If it's a safety issue, why do you do away with it on summer weekends?
Bill,
you'd have to ask the former.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna interrupt.
No.
No, I'm gonna interrupt.
There's a former commissioner here.
Hold on,
There's not even.
wait a second.
You're gonna ruin your
Wait.
opportunity for public comment.
Thank you. Very much, Claire. Bill, would you agree that it is a rule?
What's that?
And it sounds like it's a rule, right?
The alternate side.
It's a rule, but it's not, until we change the language on it,
It's a rule.
it's still a rule that they're
I
gonna
don't
enforce.
understand, and I can tell you that the city of Ithaca has the same rule. I lived there. I abided by it at the time. But you know what they do now? And they do the right thing, because they also don't have their DPW city sweeper out every night. Actually, they rarely have it out. And they often don't have the snowplows out, like tonight here in Hudson.
I just don't know
what that. Pardon me, it's my time to comment, please do not interrupt. So what they do, Henry and folks.
Sure, yes.
Is that they announce on the city website, at the top of the city website.
Yeah.
Tonight you can park on either side of the street because there will be no activity tonight by DPW. Because they understand that they want to make things simple for the people of Ithaca. And they're not there just to write $15 tickets every night to people who aren't paying attention or forget to do this and that. And I tell you, we could do that here.
We
Because
could,
there's no reason for HPD to write dozens of tickets every night when the street sweeper isn't out and when the snow shovels aren't, the snow plows aren't out. It's not fair and it's not right.
thank you very much.
I got time?
No, that's 2 minutes and 30 seconds, but we can go on to another question. Thank you. We're gonna answer this one. We'll try for the future. Like you said, it happens in the summer, you know, half the year ain't bad, you know, that's like,
Do you guys believe it's a safety issue? Why does the rule exist?
so we can clean our streets. We're not gonna continue this issue right now. I agree, it's silly.
It's not a safety issue, is what you're saying. It's just,
not the only reason. why we-
It's not the
it's
only
nice if
reason.
you guys were on the same page, that's all.
Well, we're police administration.
It's also to keep cars moving from one side to the other. Quality of life issue. It's to keep the street moving. It's a neighborhood issue. Keep the street moving. So let's say your neighbor has a second home and they parked their car next door and they left it there and they left it there again and they went to the city and it hasn't moved for 2 weeks and it just,
You mean like my neighbor on North Sixth Street where there's no rule? If the rule is so important, why isn't it on North Sixth Street?
I don't know, that's a good, that's
Why
a
does
good
Oliver
point.
get to park his trucks and cars on North Sixth
Bill,
Street for weeks and months?
there's your question, please. That's a good
They
question.
don't care.
Now, is there a reason? No, it's not, Claire, you have something you'd like to say?
With respect to like the rules of order and public comment, you often have points that are necessary to be made. If we stay within the rules of order and utilize the committee to address your actual questions, I think that most of your points will be heard. I think that you have fair points to be made, and I think going back and forth with the hypotheticals isn't productive, and you didn't start, I'm not saying you started hypotheticals, like Margaret in the beginning addressed that we should not go back and forth with hypotheticals. You brought up Ithaca, that gave us something to look into. If that's a model that you're suggesting you think makes the most sense, us as a committee should listen to your public comment and do our due diligence and look into it and be able to address your comments at our next meeting. I think that that's a fair process, but if we don't give each other an opportunity to have a process, we'll never have a respectful committee meeting. I think that you should be able to stay in these meetings, and by following the rules of order, that's how you remain in committee meetings. And I would like to hear what you have to say. So I hope that you would follow the rules of order so we can continue productive dialogue.
Thank you very much, Claire. I second that. I too would like to hear what you have to say, Bill. And in the past, other people weren't very welcoming of you, and we don't want to be those people anymore. It's your comments to Claire's point are poignant and have a lot of good heart behind them. And anyhow, we're gonna move on to the next issue. Well, Lloyd, you have a question?
It's just currently the parking signs, you said to mention
We're
something.
gonna get those out.
Two different people thought they were too high.
Oh, yeah, some.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
Couple
I
of
noticed a couple of people, it's like, where's the parking sign? You need more signs and maybe lower.
But it was the tall guy putting them up that day. Well,
I guess so.
So part of the reason, I think it was already brought up about the QR codes, so nobody messes with the QR codes. Additionally, when their DPW puts out no parking signs, they also use the street lamps for that. So if they were put any lower, then they would impede, they kind of would compete with one
It
another.
wouldn't work so well.
Yeah, so there was a method to our madness with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I got complaint from the, Warren Street and,
Yeah.
they do work when you zoom in on
yeah,
your
they say
camera.
like it's too high, so we lower it down a little bit.
Yeah.
The learning
It'll
curve.
work out to take a week.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. It's new. And there's no change in track now. We gotta move forward with it.
We're
Um,
Are the safety committees gonna get parking taken care of?
We're gonna try. It's happened in the past. You were here.
Safety committee?
There was the police committee. Yes, yeah, because, parking is about safety.
I know there's a signage issue with the height because ADA not being compliant, but that's been resolved because they don't have to use them. Right, so.
Okay.
Any other comments from the public? President, anything? Okay,
Online?
online? Great. Nothing.
Okay.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Thank you, Captain, and a motion to adjourn.
Second,
Thank you, we are adjourned.
thank you.
uh,